Hello, I'm the Miami Autism Dad, Victor Antunez, the inclusive my Realtor, and this is the Autism Podcast at Miami's Community Newspapers. Today I'm with Mayor John Taylor of Opa-locka. Mayor, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Mayor, you are 36 years old, which is just amazing that you are a mayor at your age. Tell me, what got you into politics?
Well, you say 36. A lot of people say that's young. I think it's old. But wanting to change and make a difference in my community is what got me into politics.
Are you a native Floridian?
I am.
Good for
and
you.
And a native Opa-lockian too.
I'm a native Kendallanian.
Yeah,
but I'm here also. That's awesome. So what was the process of becoming mayor? You were a commissioner first?
So I ran for commissioner in 2020. I was a commissioner for 1 year. Then my colleagues appointed me to vice mayor in 2021. 2022, I resigned from my position and ran for mayor. And that's where I'm at today.
Congratulations. Now, 36 years old, I imagine you've seen some big changes in Opa-locka in that time frame. Let's talk about that. Like, what are some of the big changes you've seen there?
Well, I made it my mission to change the trajectory of Opa-locka and how people view us. So we started with changing the seal, little small things, changing the seal, changing our motto, changing how we do business, and the woes of the past of Opa-locka. But I wanted everybody to look at Opa-locka and see something different, and not worry about what happened in the past, but see us in our future. So we redid our historical city hall. We put money into it, and now it's up and vibrant, and it's running again. We've invested in our parks. We've invested in our community, and those are the small changes, things that people can touch and see.
Now, my real estate business takes me to Opa-locka, so I know the architecture there. I think that most people because Miami-Dade County is a big place, and if you don't have business there, you don't know like that old Moorish architecture. Pretty cool. So there's been a lot of restoration going on with that? Yes, a lot of
restoration. Because I want to preserve our history. That's what makes Opa-locka unique. Because you won't see us anywhere else in the world, or anywhere else I'll say in America.
Not in Dade County anyway.
Not in Dade County at all.
Now, we're unique. Yeah, very unique. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but 1 in 6 people live with a disability. So what kind of like ADA compliance are we seeing with this new renovations and restorations going on? Okay,
so it's really interesting that you said that. A couple of years ago, I sponsored a resolution to make sure that all of our city buildings were ADA compliant. If they were not, and to also locate the deficiencies in ADA. So we just actually awarded the contract this year to a company that's going to actually complete that study and bring us back into code. So we're targeting our parks, all of our city facilities.
Is there a time frame for this? I'm curious.
We started, it was supposed to be 120 days from the day, right now they're doing the study. So by next year, we should be completed with phase 1, which will be our city hall as well as our one park, Shabundi Village. That's the most used park.
Now, I've also seen you've got the Mosaic apartments going up there, or it's already built. Very big facility. Right. Do you have more facilities like that coming on? And how do they facilitate or accommodate people with disabilities?
Well, I know we have the Wellsprings, which is for seniors.
For what?
Seniors. It's a senior living facility.
Okay, seniors, okay.
Senior living facility. Off of 27th Avenue and about where the old Jackson Hospital used to be. So I know they are definitely going to be ADA compliant. But they're working towards it. We're working towards it. We want to make sure that everybody is included in our city.
That's great. Now, located in City Hall is the South Florida School of Excellence, which is a big autism school led by Dr. Batul. And she said very good things about you. I'm sure you guys have got a great working relationship.
We love her.
Tell me about that relationship with her.
So Dr. Batul, I was introduced to Dr. Batul when I was a kid years ago, when their school was off of 135th Street and Alexandria Drive. And I've known them ever since. So since I became mayor, we've partnered with them every year, my office as well as the city. We do an autism parade every single year. And it's a fundraiser to raise money for autistic parents and families who don't usually have. I think you came to the parade. Yes.
But isn't it called the Autism Support Walk? Yes, I was there. I met her there. I didn't see you there, I don't think. Maybe I wasn't there long enough. But it was super cool because
I'm there every year. I'm only missed 1 year.
Okay. Well, there was a big police presence there from the whole county.
The county.
Also a lot of fire departments, all in their autism awareness trucks and cars. So super nice to see that you guys are teaming up that way. Do you have any other partnerships that way with either autism or disabilities happening inside the city? We partner with agencies within Opa-locka that deals with children with disabilities through our foster care network system. We have
social services department right in the middle of Opa-locka, the state building. So there's a foster care system in there that deals with children in foster care and children with disabilities. So we have a great partnership with them. Citrus and I don't know the other name, but yeah.
And I'm curious now about the foster care, because these are kids that are very vulnerable. How is the city cooperating or the county with this program?
Good. And what we're also trying to do, it's like, for example, we saw that there is a disconnect between local government and the foster care system. And one of the things, just the little small things, they don't have toys for Christmas. So toys for Christmas. So we started a thing called Santa's Cafe that we do every December, where it's just for foster families and children with disabilities. We bring them to our park, which is Shabandi Village, and they shop till they drop. So we have food, we have games, we have fellowship, and we donate. We have other organizations that donate toiletries, things that you wouldn't normally get. So toiletries, shoes, clothes that they would need.
Let's give some shout outs because they deserve it. Who are some of these partners that are donating these things?
We had what's the clinic? UHI, which is a local clinic in Opa-locka. We have Chin Medical, South Florida School of Excellence, Citrus Miami, 10 North Group, Teen Up We're Bound. These are all organizations that have helped us with this mission.
That's amazing. I can tell you, Mayor, that through this podcast and my other, autism activities, I meet people with a lot of money and big hearts that would love to support programs like this, but they don't know about them. So what kind of outreach are you doing for that? And how could I facilitate those conversations for you?
Outreach, we Facebook, social media, email blasts. We do our, the local newspapers that we have, and we also send it out to parents and to local foster homes within the city of Opa-locka. But I would definitely get you that flyer. Yeah,
we'll stay in touch because these are things that I could definitely help you out with, and it's such just an important mission with the foster kids, especially the disabled kids.
Right.
Super nice. Now, another question I want to ask you about, because there's a lot of development I see going on in Opa-locka, and a big issue is gentrification. How are you guys dealing with that, especially when it comes to more vulnerable populations like families with disabilities?
Well, we're a city that everyone is included in. We accept everybody. We love everybody. We're not that kind of community that would turn anyone away. And when you said, that goes back to the ADA compliance, that actually came up with one of our parents that said, this park doesn't have a ramp. And it was just a simple ramp. So that's when we noticed that, hey, we want to make sure that everybody has accessibility to our programming parks. And so we want to make sure. That's why we sponsored the legislation to make sure that all of our parks are ADA compliant.
So nice. Now, another thing I tell you as an autism dad is that our kids, artistic kids, lick goes those hands and they are off to the races. It's like the only parks that we go to have got to be fenced. Are your parks fenced?
All of our parks are fenced.
Yes, so important because, you can't be a helicopter parent. You want to let your kids go and run around. But if there's not a fence, like there's this statistic that 50% of autistic kids will wander. That's not true. It's 100%.
I don't even think it's just autistic children. I have a 9-year-old. And if you let her loose, she is gone.
Yeah, my 6-year-old too. So it's super important to have those facilities that way. Now, looking to the future of Opa-locka, what are some of the big opportunities you see moving forward?
As it relates to...
let's keep looking.
I'll give you a list.
Well, what is your importance to you?
So importance to me when it comes down to Opa-locka, Opa-locka have had financial woes, is getting out of financial oversight. So that's one of the most important things for our community. And also rebranding and rebuilding. And you're in the real estate business, so we have a great opportunity for redevelopment in the city of Opa-locka, both development and redevelopment. So changing the landscape of the city. So that the Opa-locka of now is not the Opa-locka of tomorrow. That is a completely different city.
I used to hear that word brand, and I didn't like it. And then somebody said, look, forget about brand, think about reputation.
Right.
So what was Opa-locka's old reputation, and where do you want to move it to in the future?
So the old reputation, Opa-locka, the first thing people think of is crime, and they think of corruption, and they think of all of the negative of Opa-locka. But what I'm trying to do is change that narrative and say that Opa-locka is a safe place to live. We have a functioning government, that we are investing in our community, we're investing in our people, we're investing in the culture of Opa-locka, we're investing in our history. So I want everybody to leave with that message.
And Opa-locka does have its own police force?
We do.
And what kind of measures are you taking then to bring the crime down? I'm curious.
Okay, so one of the things that we realized that there's a disconnect between our police police and our residents. So we started a community policing unit where our police don't sit in their cars all day, but they're actually knocking on doors and asking people, how can we help you? We did something I thought was pretty cool that we stole from another city. I'll give it that. Where our police was stopping people and giving them turkeys during Thanksgiving. Our police just had our police night out where they gave out book bags, hundreds of book bags to families. They did haircuts. They did free hairdos. It was, I think it was 2 Tuesdays ago. So these are the things that we just want to instill trust, to let our residents know that we are here for you. And when you do things like that, then the community feels comfortable to call and report and let us know what's going on.
Yeah, that police interaction is so important.
It's very important.
Last night, I went to my very first class of the Sheriff's Office Citizens Academy. So as a civilian, I go to the police building in Doral, and it's a big class. It's 16 weeks where you can learn from the inside what the police do. And one of the things that they do is that you get to do a ride along in a cop car. And they were telling me that you could, as a civilian in Dade County, you're actually entitled to do it twice a year, which is like, I didn't know that, but I think that's the coolest thing in the world. And it's just something that's super easy to implement. And there was a lady there, where was she from? She was from the north side, and she said that she came to this class because she's from Allapattah. She said, where I'm from, when the police come, it's trouble for us. So I wanted to come here and meet you guys because I know that, she said, I know I've got a false sense of what you guys are all about. So I came here to learn from you. And the police were really happy that she came, because it's true. And there are some places in the county, when the police come, you just think, oh, it's trouble. But no, man, it's not that way. And just these ride-alongs are super cool. And I'm glad you've got these community outreach programs, because they work. I mean, they work for me too.
No, they absolutely work. And in a community like the city of Opa-locka, people are afraid of the police, just like you said. Yeah. You see police, you think negativity, but that's not always the case.
No, yeah. And the community interaction is super important. Now, again, looking towards the future, let's say how many more terms can you do? I'm curious.
One more.
And then
2 4-year terms.
You take a break, or it's for life?
I probably won't be a career politician because I'm a servant to the people. So I'll do my terms in the city of Opa-locka, and wherever God's taking me, that's where I go.
And then when hopefully you'll get your second term. When you're done, what do you want your legacy to be?
That we change the face of Opa-locka.
But what does that mean? Like change the face, like the way, not the architecture, because you got good architecture.
I left it better than I got it.
Okay.
That's my total mission, to leave it better than I got it.
All right. Now, this is the Autism podcast, but I cover all disabilities. So if I'm a family dealing with some kind of disability, what would that look like for me?
As I'll say this, to know that you're in a city that cares, you're in a city that hears you, you're in a city that sees you. So whatever you need, that we are there, and we will make sure that, that you're accepted. We want to be an inclusive city. That's what that looks like.
That's great. Now, I wasn't going to touch it, but I think that we should, because people will wonder. So a couple months ago, a little boy, Anthony Brown, he passed away. He was autistic, and he wandered off. And I remember I got the Google alert, because I got to set up for autism. And I thought to myself, if that little boy isn't found in a few hours, it's not going to end well. And then he was found, he had drowned. So how did, you're a father too, and he's actually the same age as your daughter. How did that affect you as a father?
That was one of the hardest things that I had to deal with as the mayor of the city of Opa-locka. Anytime you hear that a child got hurt or a child passed away, and we sometimes as a community, we can be reactive as opposed to being proactive. Yes. And I wish that you brought up something earlier during our conversation about a legislation that was passed.
The Spectrum Alert.
The Spectrum Alert.
Yes.
And you educated me on that. So I'm going to make sure that we implement that. So those are some things that I want to, it's as you can see, I'm still caught up on it. You never want to get that. Nobody wants to get that call.
No, you don't.
And I think I think that was the one time that the community came together and everybody was out looking. Myself, the city manager, the police department, we had residents out looking. around the clock for this little boy.
Yeah, I know, it's tragic.
And it was tragic.
Yeah, just as a dad, period.
As a dad, right? As a dad, period.
It's heartbreaking to think a 9-year-old you lost. Now, one of the things that, and this is for the public now, is that the Spectrum Alert, it's similar to an Amber Alert, but Amber Alert goes out to the civilians.
Okay.
Spectrum is internal with the police.
Okay.
And one of the things that it does, which I think is just like, it's brilliant and super obvious, is that the police or fire, they get a call for a Spectrum Alert. One of the first things they do is they go to the nearest body of water. Because these kids, they love water. And most people don't know this, but drowning is the #1 cause of accidental death with autistic kids. They love the water. You know, it's interesting. I had a conversation with a gentleman named Bart Barta a couple weeks ago. And he was saying that an autistic child went missing in Coral Gables a little while back. And the sergeant in charge of that call, he knew how much autistic kids love the water. Now, the little kid disappeared near the waterway that runs by the Biltmore. So he said to one officer, you go to one end of the canal, the other one, you go to the other, and you meet in the middle. Well, guess what? They started walking towards the middle, and they found the boy waist high in water. So another 5 or 10 minutes, and that would have been another Anthony Brown. So what's cool about the Spectrum Alert is that it's going to be training officers that the first thing you do is you go to the water. And and I'm not like blaming the police officers now, because if you don't know, you don't know.
You don't know.
I remember when I first started on this journey with my own daughter, is that I was like you. It's like every day it's like, oh, like I didn't know anything. And one of the great things about these conversations is that you always learn new stuff. Like now about the Spectrum Alert, I learned stuff about, different aspects of disability. So it's great to have these conversations. And yeah, the Spectrum Alert is a big deal. Now, I'm curious, like when the community came out, how did you spread the word to the community? Like what was...
Opa-locka is a very close-knit community.
I get the feeling.
So we were calling, texting. When I say everyone was out. Public Works, our manager was on it because we wanted to find that child. We wanted to find, and nobody wanted to get that news that he passed away. Nobody wanted to get that news. No. And you probably didn't know. Did you know the water aspect? Probably nobody No, I did not know the water aspect.
Yeah.
I did not know the water aspect.
Yeah, so it's so important to educate people.
It's very important. And I mean, we do the drown safety, the pool safety, the water safety. We have those programs in the city of Opa-locka. But when it comes down to autism, I would not have put 2 and 2 together. Yeah.
Well, talk to me about the swimming initiatives then.
So we have one initiative we do every single summer is that we have a program, a nonprofit that comes in called Peace Swap, and they teach our children about water safety. And those children that don't know how to swim, they teach them how to swim. We do this every single summer. And we also partner with our county mayor, Daniela Living-Cava, and I think it's, what was it?
Zero drowning.
Zero drowning.
Yes.
Zero drowning. So we're on it with that. But the autism, the body of water, but now that we know that, we're going to ensure that is
part of the protocols.
Part of the protocols.
You said it was, what was the name of this group?
Peace Swap.
Peace
Swap.
Peace Swap. And who are they exactly?
It's an organization in North Dade, Miami-Dade County, that teaches children water safety. It's
all children?
All children.
That's great.
And they also do our seniors as well. Because despite what people believe, you have a lot of grown folks that don't know how to swim.
But you're not going to drown because at your age, you already know the danger. Autistic kids, they don't know.
I went to, we were in Universal Studios and the Volcano Bay, they have the ride that you dive into the water, and I was going crazy. My wife hollered out, just stand up. So yeah, but people don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. I had another lady on the podcast, Mary Palacios.
Okay.
She runs Crystal Academy. It's an autism school in Coral Gables. And the mayor, the vice mayor, the police, they love her. Because one of the things that she did is that she instituted this program that all the police cadets, they have to come to her school to personally interact with the autistic kids. Because it's an awesome program and it doesn't cost anything. And you guys have got that school with Dr. Batul. I know you got a good working relationship with her because she's talked great things about you as well. And in fact, I could even put her together with Mary because they've already got the program at Coral Gables. It's, it's like, okay, this is how you do it. We'll do the same thing. And the way I view the community is that we're not in competition, we're in co-petition. We're helping each other out. So yeah, it's another program they do at Coral Gables where the cadets will come in. Because, it's one thing to like have a class and talk theory, maybe see a video. But when you go to these autism schools, even when I've been to them, that's when you really see that, because you heard the spectrum word, it's all spectrum.
Right.
But until you see these kids, because some are super high functioning, and then some are not so high functioning. And when you have that personal interaction, it's such a powerful way. So just another idea of, how to integrate the police and the community and the autism schools out there.
It's actually a great idea because we just relaunched our Explorers program last year. So that's definitely something we can add into the curriculum. I talked to our city manager about that.
Yeah. And
our police chief.
You have an Explorer program
the
at
Opa-locka Explorers program.
Yeah.
Through the police department.
Those are the perfect ones to have go to those schools and your cadets. But yeah, and very low cost. And I'm sure Dr. Bratul will be all about that. Now, are there any other like ADA or disability initiatives in the city that it may have been asked you about?
I always wanted to do, because we have one of our assistant city clerk, she has a son who she says one of the issues that she always had was, he's autistic, that he's aged out of every program.
How old is he?
26, 27.
Yeah, 22, you age out.
Mm-hmm. He's aged out of the program. And she said that there's nothing, nowhere, or nothing for him to do. So she found like job placements, but then, a lot of people don't have the patience for it. So she's like, I wish we can create and she's been trying to do that for the longest, to create a program for adults that are aged out of the program, of the system. Mm. So that's something that we're actually working on with her to try to figure out how to implement that in Opa-locka.
Well, I'll tell you one way you can do it is in my district, District 3, it's Roberto J. Gonzalez is the commissioner.
Okay.
He's partnered up with the local library to put a coffee shop hiring neurodivergent young adults to come work in the coffee shop. It's a winner, because I would rather go to that coffee shop than Starbucks if you give me the option. So, and then there's No Limits Coffee Shop. There's R Grounds. So there are employers out there that are hiring them. And here's the thing. I had on the podcast, my very first guest was Dr. Michael Alessandri from the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities at UM. And he said that they actually bring costs down for employers. Why? Because autistic people, you saw Rain Man, right? Mm-hmm. You tell them something, you can't tell them. Like, they're going to do it. Like, you tell them, this is the rules. And then when you have one person who follows 100% the rules, everybody's got to do it. And the rules are there to protect you. So actually, these neurodivergent young people end up being great employees. Now, there is a center called WOW down in Kendall, but that's too far for Opa-locka. So yeah, it'd be great to have, it's an adult day training center. I mean, Opa-locka down there, it just wouldn't work out logistically. It's too much traffic. So I think that there is a place in Opa-locka for a center like that. And in fact, Dr. Batul, how many students does she have? Do you know?
Hundreds. Dr. Batul, she goes from K to 12. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she has she's in our city hall. Mm-hmm, yeah. So she takes up the
whole floor. Yeah.
The whole floor, and then half of our other floor too.
Oh, really?
The third floor. Yeah, she just expanded.
Good for her.
She just expanded.
Yeah, so I think that there definitely is room for one of these adult training centers. So this mother, what is her child working?
Her child was working, and then she said she found out that they didn't have the patience for him, so they let him go. So it's little things like that. But she said that's always been her challenge, that she could never find a place that is accepting of older children with autism.
Yeah, it's a shame, because there is a place for them.
Right.
I had on Camila Rocha from Easter Seals.
Okay.
And I asked her, how many of these adults are unemployed? 90%, which is a lot. And I asked her, but with the proper training, how many are employable? 85%. So basically all of them with the right training. But here's the thing, like I said, there are training centers. Like, there's also the Merino Center up in it's just too far for Opa-locka. So there definitely is a space there. I just wonder how we would do that, And then I bet you, if we were to ask around Opa-locka, that you're going to have some small mom and pop employers that are hiring,
that are willing to hire,
or are already doing it. We just don't know about them.
Right.
And I think it's so important to champion them. Like the No Limits Coffee Shop and other places, like, as much as I can, I put them on my Facebook, just constantly promoting them, because they need our help. And you go to the coffee shops and you can tell, yeah, these are kids that are working with disabilities, but they're working. And people don't realize that it's like 1 in 22 people have got autism now. Well, what happens when they're like your friend's child and they age out of the system? That's an economic ticking time bomb. What are we going to do with those people? We've got to get them employed, because either we get them employed or the government's got to pick up the tab. And then it's hard on the families too, because sometimes mom's got to stay home. And if mom's a single mom, like I don't know.
So at 22, they're aged out.
At 22, they age out of the system. Yeah, you can be in high school until 22. At some point,
I knew you was in your 20s, but I didn't know it was 22.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you gotta graduate, right? And 22, like normally you graduate at 18, but for this population, it's 22. But at 22, you age out of the system, and then there's centers that do the adult day training to get them ready for work, like Easter Seals also. But I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it in Opa-locka.
No, there's nothing.
So there's definitely
I can think of. That's what we've been brainstorming and trying. We've even reached out to Ms. Patul, and she was giving us ideas on how we can actually do this. Because I think her program goes up to 20 something, but I don't know the exact age. But yeah, she's working with us on it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I don't know either what her age cutoff. It might be 22, just because she's a great person. I really like Dr. Patul.
No, she's a great person.
Yeah.
She is a great person.
So do you have any other partnerships like that in Opa-locka that maybe you want to let us know about?
No, we have other program called Teen Upward Bound, who deals with at-risk children.
Teen Upward Bound?
Teen Upward Bound.
Upward Bound, okay.
Teen Upward Bound. A local resident, Miss Janie Russell, who started a program years ago, after school care program, in the city of Opa-locka that deals with at-risk children and children with disability. Similar to what Ms. Patul has, but hers is after school care and summer. And she does entrepreneurship training. She does STEM programming. She takes them on trips. She has a basketball team, and it actually expanded, giving children another option. Because, idle minds.
Yeah, I know it. Idle hands, the devil's workshop.
The devil's workshop. But her program gives children she had a program where entrepreneurship program where they did a pitch fair, and they created their own companies and did inventions, and then they pitched it to a group of judges who awarded them with prizes. And then she has a farmer's market where she brings all of them and their inventions, and people can patronize. It's a pretty cool program.
Nice. Now, for people that don't know, unpack the at-risk for me.
Okay, at-risk is children that are at risk of, how do I say it without, children with behavior problems.
Okay.
Or that have been introduced to drugs and introduced to children that have been raped, or children that you're trying to mold and get back on the right track. That's what at-risk is. So it's not really disability. It's just children that are seemingly going down the wrong path. Yeah. So we're trying to bring them back.
Yeah, which, we were all that age.
Right.
Especially the boys. I think we were. But yeah, some are more at risk than others.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. If I think back to that age, if I didn't have the proper guidance, I would have gone off the rails too.
Yeah, we all would have.
Yeah, many of us, especially the boys. Where I'm about to get the 2-minute warning. So let me go ahead and ask you those 5 rapid fire questions I was going to ask you. So question number 1, Mayor, is one word that best describes Opa-locka today.
Resilient.
Unpack that.
We've gone through the tough times, the bad times, the rough times, but we're still here.
And do you consider yourself still to be in the rough times, or are you like getting out of that?
We're not in the rough times. And I credit that to God and to our community.
Now, the rough times, was that because of like let's say the 2008, economic meltdown, or was it other just factors internal to
everyone has issues when it comes down to the municipalities, the cities. We all have those issues, but we're turning that corner.
That's great.
We've turned the corner. I'm not saying we're turning.
I think so.
Turned the corner.
Yeah, like I said,
turned the corner.
I go there and I see it different.
Corner, yeah.
Yes, great. Question number 2: a local initiative for families with special needs you're most proud of.
The Santa's Cafe.
Nice.
The Santa's Cafe, which is done every December, bringing in foster children and children with disabilities.
Nice. And you know what? Before you leave, I want to get all the social links so we can drop those into the show notes. So if people want to check it out, they can go check it out.
Will do.
Yeah, great. Third question: a leader, past or present, you look up to.
Past or present, I would have to say MLK, Martin Luther King.
Why?
Because he was a person that unapologetic, and he wanted and demanded change by any means necessary.
He sure did. Yeah. He was told, and I've read a lot about him, be patient, be patient. It's like, no, we're not being patient.
I want it now.
Yes. Good for him. Okay. One word of advice for parents raising special needs children in Opa-locka.
One word of advice, keep up the good work. It takes a special kind of parent to deal. It takes a special kind of parent to deal. Keep up the good work.
A resilient parent.
A resilient
Just
parent.
like Opa-locka.
Resilient parent.
Mayor, if you had a billboard on I-95 for Opa-locka, what would it say?
Opa-locka is here for you.
Nicely said. Well, Mayor, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been awesome. Let's turn to the camera and sign off. So this has been the Autism Podcast at Miami's Community Papers with Mayor John Taylor of Opa-locka. Thank you, Mayor, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.